In the mail today, several things. And I'll start with this one because the description of chip LED makes me curious. It's got several shipping labels on top of each other, so it's hard to know what exactly it is. It's a strip of parts. It looks like LEDs. And yeah, I wanted something smaller than the 5mm square size, so these would make it easy to go on PCB projects where space is a premium. They look in the vicinity of 3-something millimeters, so one possibility, I was thinking of a PCB where I have a bunch of these in a row for sort of a spectrum analyzer audio display. That could be an interesting project. Both of these just say IC, so I'm just going to combine these as one item. That's kind of transistor looking. And after struggling with this one, looks like ICs. Well, these have 4 legs. This looks like the LED driver in those solar garden lights. YX8018. Starting last summer, I wanted to experiment with these things, including maybe even trying to make one of the solar lights Wi-Fi accessible and do various things, but that's a project for another day. It's good that I finally received these. I think I already received my kit of inductors that also tend to go with this circuit. And this Surface Mount Max 485. RS485 transceiver ICs. I wanted these in surface mount because I have some through-hole dip, and there's a few different projects in mind, like some DMX stuff, and this isolated PCB that I recently made also uses RS485, so if I had those surface mount chips at the time, that could have saved a little real estate. So, stocking parts for upcoming projects. This says tools, and it's bulky enough to be tools. Have no idea what. All of this stuff is from earlier this year. Oh, I think this is a lens because it's this big cylinder looking. Yeah, that's a lens that I have seen used for when people make microscopes for surface mount projects. Let's see, how does this come? Oh, that just comes off. And this end is threaded, just dust covers. So, I don't think we can see too much. It's impossible to really get anything out of this either direction. I remember ordering it though after seeing a few blogs, but as well people's pictures from AliExpress showing what they used it for, and they had it set up so they can view stuff they're working on. So that'll have to be something for the future. This is low power, which has me intrigued. What does low power mean? Oh, those are isolated DC to DC converters, the 4-pin. Oh, these are actually 5 volt in, 12 volt out, 1 watt. The other ones that I've had, again, like on this isolated board, this was an 0505, 5 volts in, 5 volts out, 1 watt. If I wanted to maybe have an isolated supply and have more options, I thought get 12 volts out as well, and then I can buck or boost or whatever. So more options. This says tuner, and I have no idea. Oh, this is a daisy chain power cable for guitar pedals. So let me get this opened up. It's funny, it's in an anti-static bag. It's just a cable. So what we have here, there's a DC jack on one side so you can plug in a power adapter, and then it has a bunch of power plugs daisy chained along. It looks like this one has 6 plugs on it. And where that's useful, now that I've gone and located this stuff, these take 9 volts DC in each, and if you only happen to have one power source available, and if you don't need any noise separation between whatever multiple effects, sometimes you want a clean power source isolated, but if you can get away with it, what you can do is plug the one 9-volt source in, and then daisy chain a bunch of pedals, as long as they don't draw too much current. It's just a couple of op amps usually. So then you can power everything off of the one of these, at least temporarily, to get by. And this reminds me of something. This gives me an idea. Hold on. Where is it? Ah! A while ago I did a video where I took this small orange guitar amplifier, added an external speaker jack, and tested things out with a guitar. And shortly after that pile of stuff, did a little video putting a ukulele through a little Marshall stack amplifier similar to this. Now, I don't have a fancy uke, but I do have this one. And as a pick, I only have a bread tie at the moment. Everything is packed. But that gave me an idea I wanted to try out as well. So I'm going to take these pedals and this power daisy chain cable, and I have to dig out some stuff since I'm almost ready to move. A lot of stuff is packed away in closets and bins, and I have to make do like that bread tie guitar pick. Bread pick harmonics, it's hard to get. Well, I guess that worked out okay. I may have to work on some skills there, but hopefully soon enough I'll be all set up, including the workbench area and every other thing I need to access for projects. Right now everything is just going to be a mess for a while. In the meantime, this was a pretty good haul. We have this fancy lens to check out for the future. Maybe I can make a microscope. I can make an LED driver for solar LED projects. More isolated DC to DC converters, fancy smaller LEDs for PCB projects, RS-45 transceivers, and this daisy chain power cable will be good for at least side projects. I may have circuit projects in the future that I need to provide power for to do some maybe guitar effects. So again, I'd like to thank Patreon supporters for helping me fund all of this and support upcoming projects. Thanks to everyone else for stopping by. I'll see you on the next video.